Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about everything financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about the Penfed Credit Union Auto Loan. Now, I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos about everything Penfed. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend that you watch it. But today we want to focus on the auto loans and how you can actually get qualified for an auto loan with Penfed with no money down. And even if you have bad credit, there is a strategy that we can use to potentially get approved for this loan. Now, I say potentially because there is no guarantees, but as you know, on this channel, we talk about strategies that will enable you to be able to get everything that you need when it comes to finances and it comes to getting approved for funding. All right. So with this auto loan, the reason why I want to hyper focus on this one is because at this time, at the recording of this video, Penfed has one of the best interest rates that you will see currently for any auto loan. For not even just credit unions, for any financial institution, I don't believe there is a better auto loan at this time. Okay, so I want you to be able to get approved for this. And even more so, we also have a credit union that you can actually become a member of. And there are no stipulations to becoming a member. You have to do one thing that's very simple. We're going to go through that. And again, I'm going to give you all the tools and tips that you need to get approved for this, even if you have bad credit. And if your credit is good, strong, fair, wherever you are currently at, all these things will still be applicable to you. And some of them I'll let you know if you can skip or what I recommend that you do based on where you are at credit wise. All right. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Like I was saying before, becoming a member of Penfed is very easy. The membership is open to everyone, including you. You do not need any military affiliation. In the past, Penfed would do a hard inquiry on your Equifax report when you applied for membership. But from what I can see, that's no longer the case. To become a member, you just provide very basic information, your name, your phone number, your email, address, and that's all that you need to get started. You do need to open a savings account with a deposit of just $5, and that's it. You'll be able to become a Penfed member. So, there's nothing that you have to really do. It's very simple, and you can do it online right now if you wanted to become a member. Now, let's talk about Penfed's auto loan a little bit more. Now, here are some facts that I pulled from the Penfed website in regards to the auto loan. So let's go over some of these things before we actually talk about anything like interest rates or strategies to get this loan. Let's just go over a few facts. So how does applying affect your credit score? This is one of the best things I like about Penfed. You can apply and see if you're pre-qualified for a loan with no impact to your credit score. You do not have to take a hard inquiry to see if you're qualified for this auto loan. And if you choose to accept the actual loan offer, then Penfed will ask you for permission to obtain your full credit report. That will result in a hard inquiry by Penfed, and it will be reported to one or more of the credit bureaus. Now, for this auto loan, from the research that I've done, Penfed will pull your Equifax FICO 9 credit score. Now, one of the great things about that is most places don't actually look at your Equifax score. You probably don't have that many hard inquiries on there. And hopefully, if there aren't any derogatory marks, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to actually get something from your Equifax FICO 9 credit score. Now, do I need to know the car I plan to purchase before you apply? So no, the first step is to first get pre-qualified to see your rate and your terms that you do qualify for. Then once you've arranged financing, it's time to find your new car. You can go to a dealership of your choice and you can choose the Penfed car buying service for exclusive members and savings. So when you're looking for this vehicle, you're going to get pre-qualified first. You're then going to know the amount that you have. You will know the rates that you actually qualify for. And once you have all that information, you can then find the vehicle of your choosing, and then you can purchase that vehicle with the Penfed auto loan, or you can also use their exclusive member car buying option. Okay. Now, once you sign your loan document, You're probably wondering, how do you actually receive your check? Well, Penfed will send you the check directly by mail. The check will be made payable to the dealership or the seller. All right. So very, very simple. All we have to do is find the vehicle. We'll get the check from Penfed. We then use that check in order to purchase the vehicle. And we want to know, of course, of any restrictions when it comes to financing. And Penfed offers purchase loans on vehicles with fewer than 125,000 miles. Now, does Penfed charge fees for applying or paying off the loan early? This is also good. No, Penfed will not charge you any fees to apply or pay off your loan early. So there is no prepayment penalties. We don't have to worry about that. I wanted to make sure to cover all the FAQs first, just so we have an understanding of how this affects us, the way that we get this loan, how we get pre-approved, and exactly where it's going to be pulling from. Okay, now let's move on. Now, for those of you who have a bad credit score, either or even fair, you're building or rebuilding your credit, you probably want to know some information about Penfed and how this will actually affect you and how you can get approved for this auto loan. Now, what's great is I actually pulled this information from the Penfed website. Penfed actually had a section where they talked about how this auto loan affects people who are rebuilding or have currently bad credit. So this is what they actually said. How bad credit affects your auto loan. Your credit score is one of the most important factors in getting approved for a car loan. Credit scores are made up of 5 main factors, the most important being your payment history. So again, as we've talked about before, 35% of your credit score is on-time payments. On-time payments is one of the most important thing. The other 30% is utilization. So 65% of your credit score is made up of utilization, which you can only get from having a credit card. The other 35% is made up of on-time payments. All right. So lenders do an in-depth credit check before approving a loan because they want to know if you'll repay what you borrow. If your credit report shows things like late payments, missed payments, or lots of existing debt, a lender might charge you higher interest to offset the risk in lending to you. The chart below shows how interest rates for auto loans increase for those with lower credit scores. Again, this came directly from the Penfed website. So they're already letting you know, just because you have a low credit score doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get approved for an auto loan. They actually give you a range. If your score is ranging from 781 to 850, they're giving you an average for the interest rates. Now, don't focus on these interest rates. The article that I saw was 2 years old. These interest rates may not be indicative of what's going on today. So we're going to ignore them. And then we're going to actually go online and see some other ones from the website to date. Again, this is a 2-year-old article, but it's still on the Penfed website. So I wanted to give you an idea of how low your score can actually go and how high it is and the differences that you may see in interest rates from that. This is not to be taken, as like, don't take it as gospel. This is, again, old, so don't worry about the interest rates, but just know that no matter where your credit score is, there is an opportunity for you to get approved. You may have a higher interest rate when doing so. But again, we'll talk about a strategy that we can use in order for you to have a higher chance of getting approved. All right, I just want to actually show you this article. So this is on the Penfed website. As you can see, it's penfed.org/ and then you can see how to buy a car with bad credit. Again, this is a article from December 20th, 2022. So I don't suggest that you look at the interest rates, but I just wanted to show you that even on the Penfed website, there is already information that if you are trying to buy a car with bad credit, that it's not a absolute no, you won't get approved. And as a matter of fact, they actually have some information that you can actually look at to potentially help you. Now, as I was saying at the beginning of this video, there is a specific strategy that I'm going to recommend that you use to get approved. That's what we'll be going over next. But if you wanted to find this article, then you can just Google Penfed and how to buy a car with bad credit. If you wanted to read this, it's about a quick 9-minute read. All right, now here are the steps that I'm going to recommend for auto loan approval. Now, this is going to be very similar to another video that I had on Navy Federal and how to get approved for an auto loan with them, again, with bad credit and no money down. The only thing that's really going to be like different is the credit bureau that it's going to pull from. Instead of TransUnion, we're focusing on Equifax. And then the other benefit is going to be that there are some better interest rates that you get with Penfed. But step one, you want to open an account with Penfed. To open an account, you need to have a savings account. That is a non-negotiable. That is the prerequisite of getting this membership with Penfed. All you have to do is open a savings account. And again, you deposit as little as $5. The second thing that you need to do is open an Access America checking account. Just like I usually say with credit unions, you want to build a relationship using their premium products. Now, this is the premier account for Penfed. You want to make a deposit of at least $500, leave it in the account. You never want to have less than this. You also want to add another $500 and you want to leave that in the savings as well. Okay. Add at least $500, put it in there. You want to set up direct deposit. That's number 3. Set up a monthly direct deposit of $500 or more. We want to nurture this account. That is going to be the purpose. If you have a high Equifax score, you can skip this step if you so choose. I recommend at least opening the savings and the access checking and depositing $500. If you want to at least do that and then go right into the pre-qualification, go ahead, by all means, do so. What I recommend, if you have bad credit or fair credit, you need to build a relationship with them by putting money into this account frequently and showing that you're going to be using a lot of their products and services. Again, we need to nurture this account. So you want to wait at least 60 days before applying for anything. That's my recommendation. If you have a high credit score, again, with no derogatory information, you can skip this step. But for those with bad credit or low credit scores, it's imperative for you to nurture this account. If you can wait 3 months, that would be best. But of course, if you're on a time crunch and you can't wait, then understandably so, you do what you have to do. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I always talk about algorithms when it comes to banking industries, financial institutions, credit unions. Now, credit unions are a little bit better because the members are the one that actually use money to lend to other members. That's the reason why it's about nurturing and it's about building a relationship. Financial institutions usually are worried about pleasing their shareholders or a bottom line. Not with credit unions. It's about the members. Okay. Now, because of this huge fundamental difference in basically the way that this is structured, the more money you put into this account, the more that you actually allow them to make money from your money, the better off that you will be seen in the eyes of this credit union. You have to basically do something for them first for them to want to do something for you. Now, this doesn't guarantee that if you have bad credit that you're going to be guaranteed to be approved, but it increases the chances that you'll be approved when you do this. Okay. Again, premium account. You want a checking, you want a savings, you want to deposit money in there. If you can, I will put $500 into checking and into savings with direct deposit. Keep that money coming for around 90 days, at least 60 if you can't wait the full 90. All right. Here is the next method that I recommend. And again, this also is something that I did in a previous video, but I recommend this, highly, highly recommend it. You need to increase your credit score very, very quickly. Now, here's what I suggest. You guys all know on this channel, I have videos on removing hard inquiries. I have videos on removing collections. I also have videos on how to remove charge-offs. Whatever you can get removed, get it removed. Watch my videos, get everything off. Do whatever it is that you could do within a 90-day time frame. That's it. I'm not saying you have to clean up everything, but get off what you can. If you can get off some late payments, everything, watch those videos, get everything off, okay? But another thing that you could do is pay down your credit card utilization. This is why. If you pay all of your credit cards down to a 10% utilization, and what I mean by that is, let's say you have a credit card with $1,000. I'm using that because it's a nice, easy number. $1,000. What's 10% of 1,000? It's $100. That means you only want to have a $100 balance reporting to that card. If you do that for all of your cards, you get the utilization down to 10%. This can increase your score I've seen from 20 to 50 points. I've seen my score drop like 30, 40 points when it's really high for the utilization. I've seen it fall that much. If you weren't aware of this, then you'd be surprised how high your score will increase once you pay that down. And if you don't have a credit card, get one immediately. You need to have a credit card. Here's why I'm saying this. 35% of your actual credit score let me correct that. 35 is on-time payments. 30% of your credit score is utilization. Excuse me. Now, if you don't have a credit card, that means that 30% for utilization, you can't even get it. So that means if you were to just open a new credit card, don't worry about your account age. Your age is 15%. That's not a big deal. What's a big deal is the two things that make 65% of your score. What's more important, 65 or 15? Don't worry about the account age if you're in this situation. Open that new credit card account, because in 90 days, the difference that's going to make from utilization is going to have a much larger positive impact on your credit score than reducing your age. Okay? Trust me, that's not as important. And we have a way to counter that. The way that we're going to actually add some age to your credit score is if you can have someone add you on as an authorized user. That's my next tip. If you have a family member or a friend, have them add you on as an authorized user, and you'll be able to take advantage of their good credit history and improve your credit score seemingly overnight. So if you are unaware, when you get added on as an authorized user for a credit card, you basically get all of that person's good payment history and good credit history and utilization added onto your credit report. It's almost like a hack that you can just jump it up very, very quickly. Now, in my previous videos, I've seen comments where people have told me things like, what is this guy talking about? You think we just have family that's going to throw us on? You think I'm not thinking anything. I'm not assuming anything for you. I'm just giving you a tip and a suggestion. I'm just trying to help you. So I have seen that from those where I'm not saying that that's something that has to be done, or you have somebody. I'm not even assuming that you have a family member or friend who's willing to do this for you. But let's say that you don't. Well, here's an alternative to that argument. You can do a authorized user trade line. We've talked about this, and I'll show you on the website. So basically, it's the same thing as you getting a family member or a friend to add you on to their credit account, except you're paying someone to add you on there for around a 90-day time frame. I believe it's 60 to 90 days. And after that, you're removed. Some people have asked me, okay, well, that means my credit score will just fall back down. Yeah, but the point of this is to get approved for the loan, not to permanently increase your credit score. It's going to add history. It's going to improve your utilization. It's going to add more on-time payments to offset any late payments that you may have. This is going to solve a lot of your problems and is going to increase your score and make you look more favorable in the eyes of Penfed. So yes, it's a temporary boost in order to help raise your score. That's the whole point. It's not a permanent thing. It shouldn't be. This is, again, just a way to improve your score in a very short amount of time to get you more favorable loan terms or get approved at all. So you want to make sure that you check out these websites. You want to get an account that has a good age, a good limit, and one that makes sense. Like if you're 18, you have to make sure that it makes a lot of sense. But you become an authorized user on someone else's credit account when you buy the trade line. And again, the credit reporting agencies, they're going to report this, and it's really going to improve your score. So I have both links here to TradelineSupply.com and Coast Trade Lines. We're going to briefly go over to both the websites. I'm just going to show you exactly how that works to give you an idea of how this will greatly improve your credit score seemingly overnight. So here we are on Tradeline Supply Company, and Tradelines made easy. So we could see leading through innovation and purpose. All right. And Tradeline Supply Co. is not a credit repair company. They're just letting you know that they don't advertise as such, and that they're trying to just provide equal opportunities for people to get approved for anything. And then let's see the trade lines. I'm going to try to zoom in here so we can really get, a good look at these trade lines. So as you can see, here's a trade line with CP1 Bank. It has a $6,300 limit, and it's $322. And as you can see, the bigger the trade line, like 15,000, it's a Barclays card, it's $402. And then it tells you the reporting period, so you know when it'll report to your credit score. You also want to look at the date opened. The older the date, the better. So you could look at getting one in like 2018 with a $9,000 limit. That's $327. That's a lot of years. And you can look at the combination. Like there's a Chase one for $4,000 from 2018. Yes, the limit's not that high, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that it has a very old age. Another thing that you can worry about is, let's say that your utilization is bad. Like, let's say that you have $10,000 between all of your credit cards, but the utilization is like 35% for most of them. Well, now you can at least make the overall look a little bit better by you going ahead and getting maybe a bigger limit. Now you can maybe get like one big limit with maybe a early age, and then it's going to be like $402, but then maybe try to get like a $4,000 line with a 2019 age. You can combine both. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward thing. You can go ahead and you can actually take a look. There's also things that you can check out. Like, for example, some people have been hesitant about using the website because, of course, you're providing sensitive information. There's trusted websites that you could do, like Trustpilot, and you can actually look at the website, look at the reviews. You can look at the reviews on YouTube if you have, if you're skeptical. I always am about everything, but I've used this once before. It did work for me for a temporary boost that I needed. And I just, I haven't used it since because it's just something that you use. It's something that you just use when you need a quick increase in your credit score to get an approval. All right, so this is coasttradelines.com. If we scroll down here, our credit is your credit. We partner with individuals with high limit credit cards to temporarily add you on as an authorized user. Their card's perfect payment history and high credit limit will post to your credit file, boosting your score. This means their credit is now your credit, so you can reach your financial goals. Whether you or your family is looking to purchase a new home, finance a new car, or build a new business, our trade line recommendation can boost your credit score, and they can help you reach your financial goals in 1 week. All right, so let's scroll up and let's just look at the trade lines that are actually available. So here goes some August trade lines. There's a Barclays one that's 44.1K with 2.5 years of payment history. It's $630. There's a $2,000 Chase one that has 6.5 years. That's $310. And then there is a Truist, a 8K one, 6 years, $370. Now that's pretty good. 8,000, 6 years, not bad. Let's see. In Citi, 2.5, 2 years. Chase. So you would go through and you would just take a look at the date that it gets reported. Of course, you want to pick a reporting date that's close to when you want to look for this loan, because the reporting date is when you can expect to see it on your actual credit report. Now, a couple other things. Let's see here. Some people have asked me, does the state matter? Now, I'm going to tell you, like, I live in Nevada. Here's a Nevada one. You could pick one that's in your state. I don't believe that really matters. From my experience, I had my mom add me on as an authorized user in the past, and she lived in Louisiana. I lived in Nevada, didn't have any problem, and it did help me get approvals for things at the time. So I don't think it really matters. You can just pick the one that you would like to use to increase and boost your score. And I just pulled this up really quick. Like, this is on Trustpilot, so you could go to Tradeline Supply Company LLC, and they do have pretty good reviews out of 295. So again, this is just because my previous video, people were, asking me that. You can check this out and, just read the reviews and make a decision on based off of everything and just based off of how you feel. Again, I'm only suggesting this. My first suggestion is going to be to ask a family member or ask a friend, because it's not that I would do this for my friends. If they asked me, I would temporarily add them on to increase their credit score to get approved or something, absolutely. So, if you have someone who'll do it, then, awesome. And if you don't, this is just another alternative option. So, I just pulled this up really fast so you can look it up, read the reviews, and, make a decision. All right. So now that we've had time to develop our strategy, we know that there's a way that we can increase our credit score. We have the tools and resources on this channel to remove hard inquiries, remove collections, remove derogatory marks, to dispute late payments, to get our score as high as possible as we're building this relationship with Penfed. And again, let that nurture for at least 60 days. If you can do 90, that would be great. Take that 90 days to do all of these steps. Again, ask family members or friends, authorized user. If not, you can look at those trade lines. If that's an option for you, if you're able to really improve your credit score in that 90-day time frame, then it may not matter. So, these are all just strategies, and these are all just a couple of methods that can really help you when you're in a pinch. Now it's time for us to apply. So once you're ready, it's time to apply for the auto loan. Let's take a look at the Penfed Credit Union website and just check out the rates before we do the pre-approval. All right, so right now we are on the Penfed Credit Union website looking at the Penfed auto loans. Now, this is what I love about this credit union. They have rates as low as 4.74% APR, up to 125% financing. So for that, if you were refinancing and had a little bit of negative equity, you can throw that on the back end up to 125%. That is amazing. That is a very low interest rate. So you can see if you can pre-qualify right here. Pre-approval is in minutes. Know what you qualify before you buy. And let's just scroll down just a little bit more. And here are the current rates that we're looking at. And the rates are going to probably be based off of excellent credit. But no matter how high your credit score is, the lowest that you're going to get is 4.74%. That's probably as good as it's going to get. No matter who I've looked at, this seemed to be the best rate. Okay. Shortest term is 36 months. And if you have a used vehicle, even with excellent credit, you're looking at 6.79%. All right. And that's a pre-owned vehicle with a mileage of over 7,501 miles. So if doesn't matter, even if it's a, certified pre-owned, you're still looking at 6.79%. And you can play with the calculator that they have up here to get an idea of how much you might potentially be paying. And then as you can see, even with, and I again believe these are all based on excellent credit terms, 84 months, used vehicle is 7.74%, and then 84 months, 6.79%. So I would go to the calculator, check the new auto loans and the used auto loans, and I would see exactly how much your car note would be per month. Make sure that this is feasible for you before you even get pre-qualified, just to have an idea of what you think that it might be. All right. So check these out and look at some of the protections while you're there too. Some of you may not have heard of gap coverage, but it's a really good coverage if your car is totaled out. I recommend that you check that out. There are some other vehicle protections that you may be interested in, but once you've gone down here, you've explored a little bit, you've checked out some of the car buying services and you explored this page, you can see if you pre-qualify, and you'll have to log in as a member here, and then you'll begin that process. All right. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully, using these tips and some of these strategies, you'll be able to get approved for an auto loan with Penfed. Again, these are amazing rates. I really do like these rates, especially right now while interest rates are so high. If you can wait and not get a car, if it's not imperative, I suggest waiting or, just nurturing that relationship. But if you're in need and you want to get the best interest rate possible to pay the least amount of money, then this is what I would suggest. And hopefully this has been valuable information. And these are tips that you can actually utilize in order to get approved for this vehicle. In order to get approved for a vehicle, rather, with Penfed. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. You have a wonderful day.